Hello, welcome to this week tutorial lab sessions. So, if you have been following the online video, we have actually completed the Microsoft Word formatting and automation. So, by doing or by following the guidance from the video, you should be able to attain these 20% marks easily. So actually, I wanted to highlight one thing over here is that if you see this marks over here is total 100%, right? Over here is 20%, 60%, and 20%, which makes up the 100%. However, if you calculate the marks over here, it's actually only 40%. So this is one of the thing that I want to update. Over here is only 80%. So where's the another 20%? So the another 20% will be actually on your project itself. So how well or how detailed are you going to comply or apply what the lesson has already been taught to you? So apparently, if you just follow straight away from the video, everything 100%, you can obtain all of these marks accordingly. However, up to a maximum of 80% if there's no innovations on your template or on your proposal or on your database system. All right. So the 20% will be on your innovation, how you're going to impress, of course, impress me on your creativity, on your advanced skill, and on your application of understanding. If you follow straight 100% from the video, the maximum marks you will be able to obtain is 80%. Another 20% will be basically challenging you on your creativity, your critical analyzing skills, and your innovations in further utilizing the skills or beyond what has been taught. So I'm looking forward to that. So this week we will be looking at this Microsoft Excel. We'll be starting with the budgeting, plan, and cost analysis. We'll look at how the Microsoft Excel will work. All right. So Excel. So let us go through very basic of the, what I would say, the basic skills or basic idea that you should have in a Microsoft Excel. So from here, we'll be looking at the basic of the basic. Of course, over here you can change the font, alignment. You can change the field by changing the you can change a lot of things from here, and of course the sorting and filtering. But let us start with the basic of the basic, which is what is this and this, right? Of course, in Excel we have cell, right? Each of this is a workbook, right? This is what we call a workbook, and inside a workbook there is what we call sheet. Right, this is sheet 1. If you go here, if you press on this new sheet, you got a sheet 2 and sheet 3 and so on. Right, it means these are in different sheet, and each sheet will have what's it inside will have a lot of shelves. All right, we call this the cells. Right, the cells, and each box over here, right, is a cell. And each of these cells will have a coordinate. It will have a coordinate which is following. This is the row. This is the column. All right. Let's say over here. All right. We will call this cell as. Usually we call it from the column. All right. We'll call it from the column, which is a C3. Right. This is C3. This is really basic. Why do we need to understand this basic? Because later when we do complex, when we do macros especially, all right, when we do automation, then you need to know what is this should one, should two, should three, or how you're going to name this workbook. These are all the basic small details which meant a lot. If you actually leave it out, then you have to understand again, all right? You need to relearn that again. So, okay, we have done with all this defining the basic idea of this Excel. Let us start with today's lesson. All right, today's lesson is actually to create a budget. I would say disclaimer, don't follow my budget over here. It might not be the standard one that you learn from the actual management accounting budgeting template. All right, over here is just a simple basic one, just to start things up by applying the simple formula formatting over here. All right. Of course, you can do the actual format accordingly. So let us start without further ado. Let us start since the beginning of the lessons. When I use the Microsoft Word, I actually use the printing services. Let us continue with the printing services over here. So let me say printing services. All right, printing services. I don't know. Maybe company. All right. I want to put some German, but never mind. Budgeting, budget. What should I put? Let's put a master budget for the year 2025, right? Okay, over here we have these over here, and then I'm quite afraid of the time, so I don't want to drag too long. Let us straight away move into the profit analysis, which is in the budget we will have a total revenue, total cost. Okay, so over here, if you notice, all right, you will have to click on here and drag, and you make it big. This is one of the method. Another method is you double click on this. It will automatically adjust to the column. See that? It will automatically adjust. And it work also if you, apparently, if you have like different column like this, right? It also work if you highlight the whole thing by selecting over here and double click, and it will automatically adjust everything accordingly. And just in case, all right, if you want this to be in between this shell, all right, you want it to be maybe like this, and you don't want it to be like, you don't expand this width of this column. So what you can do is you can drag this back here. You can go to this function called wrap text. All right, you can see over there, that's the definition. So clicking on that, all right, clicking on this one, double click, all right, you can see that it plays over to there. This is something me to share on, but let me just go back all the way to here, right? Let me just go back here. So what if you insist of you want it to be on this row, all right? You want this row to be expanded. So one of the method is you can highlight these three columns. You see if it's around here, then you can just merge and center, or you can merge across or unmerge if you want to unmerge. All right, merge across is without centering it. Merge and center is you put it on center, but the thing is that you can just change from here. All right. Also this, so just merge and center. Okay. So from here you can double click and it will not affect anything over here. Right. All right. These are all the basic thing I want to show you. So let us say this one is the estimated amount. Amount the T. All right, over here is the actual amount. So over here we want it to wrap the text. Okay, but we want it to go like this. Okay, so what happened is there's a gap over here. Then double click on here, it works as well. Okay, beautifully formatted. Of course, if it's not nice right over here, you can just highlight these two columns and drag this up a bit. It will adjust these two columns accordingly. But if you double click, then it will change back. So like this, it will be a lot nicer. All right, let us bold this and maybe color this. Yeah, this, all right. Put in some aesthetic design, right? So here maybe you can draw the line or the border depending on what you want. So I just put like this. And of course, I forgot to put over here, budget is not complete without the variance, all right? Budget and the budget variance. Okay, one thing is if you have something over here, you want to copy to this, you can drag from this. You can drag from here to here and you will automatically copy. It actually goes for the formula as well. Later I'll show you. Or you can just copy and paste. It works as well. But bear in mind, if you copy and then if you double click on the column and you try to paste here, it will not paste anything because inside the clipboard, it will have nothing already. If you see this copy, right? And suddenly you want to you double click here, all right? The paste is gone because the clipboard will automatically erase. It will automatically be erased. All right. I don't have to. Okay. Let us put a figure over here. This is very basic. All right. We'll expand on this, but let us try to put something over here. Let's say the total revenue is 7,000. And then the actual amount is maybe 7,000 as well. Means there's nothing wrong with this. 5250. I want it to be a nice amount, right? 5,000. But the actual is 6,000. All right. Over here we can do a lot of things. Okay, from this cell over here for the numbers. All right, you can go over here. You can see this comma sign. All right, if you click this comma sign, it became with the dot. All right. This one looks nicer. Okay, you can change them accordingly over here. Accounting. okay? Then you will have the RM amount as well. If you highlight the whole thing, you will get everything with the RM. Depends on you. Okay, this is how you're going to do, all right? This is example. Obviously, if you follow this, you can score up to 80 marks, as I said, but you will not get better marks. You can put the RM on top here also, depending on your situation or context. So let's say that, all right, we want to put insert, all right, we want to put something over here, you can just right click here and insert, then you'll get the insert. Or there's another method is you just highlight this and then drag it down. It works as well. But do be careful when you have formula inside the column, it might mess up the location when you drag and drop or when you change, insert something over here, all right? But now it's still blank. Everything is nice and easy when there's nothing around. So let me just change this just to comma, and let me just drag this back over here like this, okay? And put the RM over here. The RM over here. Why sometimes you don't want the RM over here? Maybe if you're not everything over here, right? Just in case, all right, if you have the unit as well. Okay, maybe over here is the RM and then there's a unit and then when you multiply, then you don't want to generalize everything as RM over here. So let's just put this to the center and maybe on underline this, make it look even nicer, all right? So let us go into the first and the most basic formula of all in the Excel. To activate the formula function, we just simply put in the equal sign, all right? Input the equal sign, okay? And select the cell that you want to minus from, okay? So we're going to use this and minus with this one, okay? Z minus the actual. So over here is 0, and over here we have a negative of 1000. Let me see, is it correct? I can't remember this part. Let me just rethink about this. The actual cost is 6,000, so the estimate budget is 5,000, so you'll have a negative variance. Never mind, we'll leave this like this first, right? Leave it like this first. For this as well, we can do a lot of things over here. We can make this as negative, okay? Because you need to put this as negative as well, all right? Negative. Then you can equal to the sum. You can use the sum formula over here and enter, or you can go and click over here and click on this auto sum. See that? Automatically auto sum. So let's see, all right, let's see over here. So we have this, you can drag this down. So bear in mind, if you drag this down, this will automatically copy this one as well, all right? So obviously we can see the variance over here should be negative and negative, right? Let me see, just to avoid confusion, if the amount variance over here, because it's a cost, right? It's supposed to be here, right? It's supposed to be, let me just just to avoid confusion, right? Just to avoid confusion, we don't want this to be negative. If it's negative, then over here, it will create more confusion. So let me just change back everything over here. All right, just go control, like change back everything. Yeah, like this. Back. Okay, so we have to use the actual to minus the budget. Okay, and bring this down over here. Bring this down over here. All right. So we have additional, when you find the variance, is 1000 extra, right? Then this one is straight away, this equals to this revenue minus with the cost. Okay. And we got a variance of a negative 1000. So you estimate actually is 2000 profit. Okay, let's put the profit. But the actual result is only 1000. So you estimate 5000 the cost, but the actual amount is 6000. You have additional 1000 of the cost. Okay, this is the basic idea of using a formula. So of course you can make this deeper or more complex. Let us move into the more detail over here. Let's say we want to break down this revenue. All right, we want to break down this revenue. You draw this line as well. I forgot. Don't draw that line. Want to break down this total revenue. So let us go down over here. Let us copy this and paste this over to here, like so. Okay. There's something stuck over here. Let me see. Interesting. Shouldn't be like this, right? But there's another method is you just drag up. Just drag up from here. All right, you can just drag up. But I don't know why it did not. Maybe you can let me know at the comments. But anyway, let's see, instead over here, maybe we can make a working one. So over here we will put we can straight away copy this and paste this over here. Copy this one over here. Okay. So maybe you can say category. Those are print, and then custom orders. All right. I don't know. I'm just making this up. All right. We got maybe over here 5000 and 2000, but over here maybe 4800 and 2400. Okay. Just very fast with you. Over here is the obviously the total revenue. Okay. So here, let us just change all of this to the accounting format, the comma format, all right? Draw the line. So do minus, of course it's not minus. This one is straightforward. Also some of this. Okay. Variance, same. Just copy this and paste this over here. Okay. And over here is, and just copy this and paste this over here. So we have the amount like this. Now we want this to be automated further. What we can do is we will use this equal to this one, and this is equal to this one. Okay. So when we do some adjustment over here, let's say now it's 4,000, you can see it's actually changed accordingly. All right. So can do so for the cost. All right. Then break down direct and indirect costs. You know, you can do a lot of things. You can, in fact, later break down this amount into the sales per unit with the cost, the unit of sold, unit of sales multiply with the sales, right? Then you can go even deeper. And it doesn't stop there. Using the same knowledge, using this same skill without additional of anything, you can even break down this into monthly basis, right? Go into monthly basis or daily basis as well. So your creativity matters here, all right? You can just give me something like this, but your marks will be equivalent to this level over here, right? So let us pause for a while. All right, let me pause for a while. All right, we are back. So where am I? Okay. Now we move into one more formula over here that I want to show you is the if formula, right? We got this variance over here. So some people, they don't understand whether this is good or bad. All right, they say negative, is it good or bad? They are not sure. So what we can do over here is we can insert a statement whether it is good or it is bad. And obviously the revenue and the cost with the profit is opposite, right? If it's negative over here, we obviously know that it's bad. If over here is positive, it is bad as well, right? Because we actually incur more costs than the budget. Yes. Okay, so we'll put in the indication over here. So whether it is above the amount, then it became variable or not variable. All right. So let us put over here the if function. So let us try this one first. Over here is easier. As we can see, one is negative, one is positive, right? So we equals if, okay, what's the logic test? So there's a lot of way for us to program this. We can program based on this negative figure. If it's negative, we can say it is unfavorable, and if it's positive, then it is favorable for the revenue. But there's another way is we just straight away compare the actual with the estimate figure over here by using the formula. So both ways is possible. I'll show you one of the way. So let us put this the actual. If it's more, see the arrow of more, then this, then put a comma, then this a Okay. So if not, it is wait. Okay. Okay. See that? And drag this down. It will just change accordingly. All right. But this is interesting because you didn't say more equal, so it was stuck. So over here is a homework for you. What should we put for this formula to ensure that if it's equal, we'll have nothing over here. So you can try and think about it. So let's copy this and paste it over here. Over here, for the cost, it should be the opposite. But let's take this and put it over here. Okay. There you go. Let us put in, let's say, 2000. You can see it change accordingly because you not have a negative revenue, right? I mean, negative. You will not estimate your budget to be negative. That would be nonsense. But anyway, this is just the basic for you to look at on the formula sum, on the formula if, on the basic linking one cell to another cell, the basic term of Excel, the basic formatting method that you can learn. All right, that's all. We'll continue from here onwards in the class. All right.